I appreciate that. I'm going to use it. Welcome to Vietnam 2016. Just kidding. That is a joke. Little first day of the joke. Everyone okay? First day? Doing all right? Yep. Been much drinking going on? Anything? Okay. So people feel a little foggy. I can say, oh, little Hilton bar last night. I can see it in all of your faces. Or is it just mine? Just kidding. Anyway, my name is Sean Halley. Welcome to Namm. You're in the Line 6 booth. We're very excited to announce a couple different products at this show. I will be dealing with two products myself, one of which is new, and one of which is something very interesting I'll tell you about in a second. First product that we've actually, we're shipping to the show is Firehawk 1500, which is a brand new, actually stage amplifier, 1500 watts. Louder than the Dickens, and actually can do what it does at any volume. But my job is also to talk about the other product that we just announced, which is a brand new Relay G10. It is basically the easiest wireless in the world. I say that because not only is it 24-bit uncompressed audio, just like all of the other members of the Relay family, so depending on the length of the cable that you're used to using and the quality of that cable, this will probably sound better, depending on what it is. And the reason it's the easiest is because there's no batteries to recharge. So when you take that little transmitter out of the receiver, it automatically sets the channel for you. There's no buttons, there's no switches. Basically, it is the easiest thing on the planet to use. We've got one over there to show you as well. But what I'm really here to talk to you about, so we're excited about both these new products, and there'll be a demo on Firehawk 1500 by Paul in a minute. He's making it sound really great, so check that out. But I'm really here to talk to you about Helix, which is this guy here. So in the late summer, we announced a product called Helix, and we basically spat out a couple videos and gave a couple little song examples, and then basically had people start talking. And if you know anything about guitar players, we like to talk. And boy, we talk a lot. So I took a snippet of the gear page. So Helix has literally created the most buzz of any product that I can possibly remember in the last 2 decades. So one thread on the gear page, if you look over there, 18,000 posts, 1.4 million views. It had over 1 million views before the product even shipped. That's 1.4 million. The nearest post count on any thread on there is like 100,000 at the most for the most transcendent product other than this. So what are people talking about? Why are they talking about Helix in this sense? Well, the reason is because it really is the state of the art in guitar processing. So it is something that has fantastic amounts of digital I/O, AES, SPDIF, MIDI. It has USB. You can use it as a recording interface. It has XLR and TRS outs, of course. You've got Variax input for integration with the guitar. You have 4 effect sends built in that can be split up and used individually anywhere in the signal chain. And you have this fantastic screen and touch-sensitive user interface. So the switches are touch-sensitive. You can touch them and assign effects to the actual pedal switches, and you can touch them and tweak the sounds. So as you're touching the interface, you can literally tweak the sounds just by touching. So it's something that is really, really sort of interesting. It's taken the world by storm, I think, guitar player-wise. So what I want to do is let you listen to it in a second, but I want to talk about how I built some of the patches in here. So I've got a tune basically laid out that goes through a bunch of different styles, it goes through a bunch of different tones, it goes through a bunch of different everything. I want to sort of talk a little bit about how I made the tones really quickly. So basically, you have, it starts out with a clean thing with a big long loop section. Basically, I needed to be able to assign a bunch of stuff to the pedal to make sure that I could control things in real time. It goes into a funk thing. Now, one of the things about Helix that you'll notice is it actually has 4 stereo pads. So in each patch, I can actually load up to 4 different stereo paths. That means I could affect 4 different inputs simultaneously in a different manner. It means I can do things like parallel processing here. So in the second part of that patch, I actually open up a synth patch. So I can actually go through and add the sound of the synthesizer to my regular funk guitar. Rock guitar stuff makes sense. It's a very simple path, but you'll see that I've got the delay split out from the back of the amp. So what this is showing you is the actual order of all of the effects that I've got loaded up. So when you hear the delay, you'll hear the fact that it's got a compressor behind it, and that's to make the delay really loud. So if you remember that sort of edge U2 kind of guitar sound where you've got lots and lots of very loud delay repeats, I'm actually compressing the delays to make them do that, which is cool. Got a blues tune, which is very, very simple. It's basically just a really nice JTM 45, and that's really it, which will be nice. And then you've got a country thing, so basically at this point I start using the tones and the variacs. So you'll hear a Telecaster through 2 different amps at once. Then you'll basically hear a really heavy rock thing where the guitar gets tuned down to B. So I don't have a 7-string guitar, but I can make it sound like I've got one. So I tune the guitar down to B at the same time. So got some more things here. I'll just get through this. But if we could, Tanner, if you want, why don't we switch to the camera view for a second? Can we do that? Thanks, sir. Awesome. So here's the camera. So you can see, there's my finger. Awesome. So in the live view, it's very easy. If I just, if you guys can see me when I'm actually touching things, if I just touch the foot switch here, you can see that it's updating all of the effects so that when I want to tweak something, all I have to do is assign it to a foot switch, and then I'm ready to use it. So it's super powerful. It's very easy to use, and it makes a lot more sense than trying to just move the joystick around, which is actually... Can we switch back real quick, Tanner, so I know where I am? Thank you, sir. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is start this tune. So we've got, by the way, you'll hear some acoustic sounds from the variacs, which is going to be fun. All right. So if you could switch back, Tanner, to the camera. So I've got this sound here. Okay, so we're going to put a looping example in here and see if this works. So now, anyone here do looping? Anyone have some fun with looping? If you ever want to try it out, check this out. It's like a little tape trick. Start out recording dead air. So if you start out recording just dead noises, you're going to basically define 2 loop points. So once you have 2 loop points, now it works like a tape deck. See, I turned the delay on there. See, the nice little sound started out. Have a Chula pedal plugged in here, so when I turn that on, it's actually an external pedal that I'm inserting into the loop there. banjo and guitar actually at the same time. Just kidding. Just kidding. Every once in a while, you know, when it's really the first time in the morning, you need the applause track at the end just to make sure. So there's a couple things that are really important to get out of all that. For one, you're talking about a system that has the ability to integrate this guitar, so it's changing guitar's acoustic sounds. It has the ability to integrate actually external gear. So I've got a foot pedal here that I've got in one of the effects loops on one of those tracks. You can see me turn on and off. I have the ability at some point to actually split the variac sound and the acoustic guitar, or the electric guitar sounds itself, to process them differently. So you have a system that has the ability to, at studio quality, for the first time, we've got the real feel of sort of tube amps. But finally, we have the ability to actually manage that in a way with this fantastic touch interface that makes a lot of sense. So please check out all the other demos that will be happening today. Check out all the new products. The Firehawk 1500 is fantastic. The new Relay G10 is really great. And we'll be back at some point for more of this. So thank you guys very much. Cheers.